Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about how to care less about what others think about us. Yes, I've been there. I've been there in that comparison syndrome and thinking about, what do people actually think about me? So let's address that with 5 different action steps to take today. Hi everyone, I'm Jessica, and I love talking about financial freedom after experiencing burnout early on in my pharmacist career. On this channel, we talk about burnout and simplifying your life, along with financial freedom journey and how we paid off massive student loan debt. Make sure to watch those videos as well and get your free resources linked below. How often have you felt behind? How often have you compared yourself to someone else? Today we're talking about how to care less about what others think of us and what's action steps to take to actually have this accomplished in our life. And as a public figure who's on YouTube, yes, there's always going to be critics who say different things and who want to give you feedback. I think it's important to realize when those opinions matter and when you need to take action on those opinions versus how to let go of what others think about us. So we're going to talk about 5 different ways to reset these feelings today. Action 1, realize that you're your own worst critic. Yes, I said it. And a lot of times it's hard to acknowledge that we're our own worst critic. We say things to ourselves or we think things in our head that we would never say to a loved one or a friend or a family member. Are you with me on this? I know I've said some horrible things about myself to myself, and I would never say that to someone else because it would be disrespectful and very hurtful. But we say that all the time to ourselves. So realizing and acknowledging when we're doing that is really important so that we can get away from, caring about some of those opinions and some of that negative thought process that we have. Now, in terms of an action step to help reset this, I highly recommend reading the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. I recommended this book before, and I think it's a top read for everyone, especially educators and students, and it can help us reset the mindset, help us think about that negative energy mindset versus more of that positive energy mindset as well. Action step 2, remembering that our self-worth is not reliant on anyone else. And this can be hard to grasp, I think, because when we think about our self-worth and we think about we need to achieve X, Y, or Z to have a certain type of worth in this culture, in this society. And at the end of the day, that's not true. Relying on someone else for that self-worth and that validation can be really harmful, right? It could lead to a lot more people pleasing. It could lead to codependence and so on, right? And realizing that might be going on is a really important action step to take. Our value is not dependent on what people think about us or how much they like us, right? And I think that if you feel this way, one of the action steps I've taken is the first step of the Burnout Attachment Method of gaining clarity of our why statements, our value statements, and why we get up in the morning, because it's never for an external reason. It's never for this external goal that we have set out to achieve. We get out of bed in the morning not for external purposes. We get out of bed for internal reasons and motivations, and it's important to realize that so that we don't attach this self-worth to something external or someone else in our life. Action step 3, we all have our own insecurities. Yes, we all have different insecurities. We just may not talk very openly about them, and everyone is insecure about something in their life, right? And for me personally, it was actually my ears. I feel like they do stick out. It's something that I've always noticed. It's one of the reasons why I don't wear my hair up unless I'm really working out for a lot of times, because I think they stick out. And it's probably something that maybe you've never noticed. Maybe people have never commented on in this YouTube channel, but it's something that I've dealt with since childhood as an insecurity, and it's something I've worked through, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what people think about my ears or my physical appearance. It's really about how I am as a person, what kind of value I'm adding to this world, right? At the end of the day, we focus on our insecurities so much more than anyone actually even notices them about ourselves. So realizing that, acknowledging that, maybe having a fun laugh about that can be really helpful. Action step number 4, be different. Realize that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be unique, because we all are unique and we all have these really unique ways to create meaning in this world, and acknowledging that can be really helpful. We don't want to assimilate to all be the same types of thinkers and to all be the same way, right? Life would be really boring. This world would be really boring, right? So thinking about how you are different and how you're bringing value to this world can be a great reset point as well. Action step number 5, let go of that comparison syndrome. I've talked a lot about this already, so I highly recommend going back to our podcast episodes on comparison syndrome, linked below, and our YouTube video on comparison syndrome as well. And just letting that go so that, we care less about what people think about us, how we compare ourselves to others. Today we talked about 5 different ways to really let go of what others think about us, to be our own unique individuals. I would love to hear how you're being your own unique individual. Please introduce yourself in the comments. Please share below. Make sure you're taking action steps in your own life with our complimentary burnout starter kits and financial freedom kits and other resources linked in the description of this video. Until next time, my friends, cultivate joy.